I'll get it set up. But then,
solid gold.
Yeah, dude. My buddy Paul used to sit there. He's just like doing some weird shit, and then Lindsay farted or something.
Dude, I do that actually in my studio. Like, I'll be recording when people don't know I'm recording, and then all of a sudden, like, the song's done, and they're like, "We didn't record it?" I'm like, "Sorry." Actually, I was recording that when we were doing karaoke over there the other night.
Oh,
you
yeah,
killed
yeah.
the Killers, man.
Dude, my voice started just breaking by the end of that.
Well, cheers.
Oh, yeah. Cheers, bud. Salute. Dude, you turned me onto this. I had never...
What? Bubbly?
Linazol.
Oh, yeah, dude. The Blanco's really good.
We got a bunch of that. Yeah, you like Blanco better, don't you?
I mean, that's what... This is the Reposado.
I drink Reposado more than anything.
No, they're both great. We have Blanco at the bar, so it's... I mean, for the price, it's great. It's amazing.
I did forget to ask you, but if you don't want a subject brought up, let me know before we start.
No, dude, whatever, man.
The things that I've learned, like technically on this podcast, that I do, well, when you listen to yourself a lot, you like realize your own verbal things that you hate. So the amount of times I say literally or like, that shit. So I'm like, oh, I'll become a better speaker, But then there's also this thing in a conversation. Yeah, but that doesn't bother me as much. I don't say it near as much. It's just like this, like that when I'm just describing a story, especially when I get drunk, Then there's this thing that happens in conversation where if you're talking to somebody, they're like, oh yeah, yeah. And then they'll keep they're just being engaged. But on a podcast, it just sounds annoying as fuck when every 10 seconds of you talking, I'm just like, yeah, oh yeah, totally. And you're just like, dude, shut the fuck up. So it's like learning lessons along the way. And then especially if you're trying to clip a funny part and then somebody else jumps in or something, it's harder with 3. So I might try to do the headphones at some point with 3 people or 4 people. I don't know. You
can do earbuds too, so it's not so big cans.
Yeah. So why doesn't anyone do earbuds? Every podcast I see, all of them.
I've seen Steve-O's. Some of them use earbuds,
but they don't have the Bluetooth yet because you need you need to plug in some sort of receiver. I would have to, for the
I just have on my Apollo, for recording at the studio, I go out of the headphones on that, and I have the rack mount one has 2 headphones out, and that one's got 1.
But I can do a split on that. That's what I was using.
Yeah, so you just get you can get a cheap headphone amp that's got 4. Mm-hmm. You go out of that into that, and then you have 4 headphone outs.
Well, then you still run cables, right?
Yeah, it's just long cables.
Yeah. Do they make Bluetooth? Because that would be dope.
I don't know, honestly.
Because if I could have, headphone out, do a Bluetooth.
The problem with
obviously they wouldn't do.
The problem with Bluetooth is, as far as my understanding, and maybe it's evolved past that, but Bluetooth is one way between one thing and another thing, not one thing and 5 other things.
Right.
So if you have Bluetooth speakers, right, you have your computer or your phone going from one to the Bluetooth speaker, and then there's another wireless connection from that speaker to the other speakers.
Yeah. So I would have to run...
we can't have 2 different Bluetooth speakers connected to your phone.
Yeah, but I would have to run... But if I had 2 separate Bluetooth transmitters, I don't know if they even make this, but then you could have the headphone out, 2 different ports, 1 Bluetooth, the second Bluetooth, and then that goes to you, that goes to me. Or have 4, like you said.
Well, I mean, they have the, inner monitors, right?
Yeah.
They have those.
Yeah, it's kind of, I would think it's...
But that's not Bluetooth. Bluetooth is yeah, I don't know. You'd have to... Huh. I'm sure there's a quick research thing. Yeah. Maybe there's a business opportunity right there for you.
Nah. I'm not a businessman. Dude, yeah, I've had speaking of being on mushrooms, I've had a lot of business ideas on mushrooms, and then the next day I'm like, the work that it would take.
Yeah, or it's just I don't even know how the fuck I'd do that.
Mm-hmm. One time we had this really good idea. I think they've made it by now, but we were talking about pickles, and came
I
up with this
love
name,
pickles.
Party Pickle. And you do individually wrapped pickles and have like a cool logo called Party Pickles, and you have it like up in the front of the gas stations or like the checkout lines, where like the Snickers are and stuff, and it's just like individually ones, and everyone loves pickles.
They
And
have those.
I think they do now. They didn't.
Like gas station, you get like, or they have like
What?
little bags of like pickled chip, like
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
like
But
sliced
at the
pickles.
time, this was like maybe 10 years ago. That
When I was a kid,
maybe
you
they
just
did.
go to the grocery store and go to the deli, and they had the big old jar of pickles.
Yeah.
And for a quarter, you'd get a pickle, and then wrap it in a little paper towel. And
Oh
good to
yeah,
go.
so it would be like that, but it's like branded and everything, and you have
Packaged.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And you sell them for like $4 instead of
right. It's like you can buy a whole watermelon, or you can buy that thing that's already cut.
Yeah.
But
And the whole watermelon's like $2.50.
yeah,
And the cut one, which is like maybe a quarter of a watermelon, and it's like $6.
yeah. And then there's also just like the branding Party Pickle and like have a cool like pickle guy, but it all sounded dope. Like we're tripping and chit chatting about this. And then the next day just started like I called my friend who runs a business, like, what's the logistics? And he's like, oh, you gotta do this and this. I'm like, ah, fuck. Like this sounds like a nightmare. I was like, scrap that idea.
Well,
I
yeah.
do like I have to figure out. I mean, this is like this camera setup, this microphone setup is like the next evolution. Cause I remember when you were telling me about, you're like, dude, you should do this and this and this. And I was like, my problem was I was trying to do too much and I just didn't start. So even like the having video, I should have just started audio 2 years ago and just put a fucking phone down and start recording and putting it out there, right? So starting is the hardest
Video
thing.
is cool.
I like it too.
I mean, it's a lot more work. There's a reason why I don't do video.
Right. Well, and then even I think that a lot of people do only listen to the audio, but video works really well for promotion. So
Yeah.
I can like all those clips that I make for. Well, I guess you're not on Instagram, but
I see it on Instagram. I'm on Instagram.
okay.
Are you not following me?
No, I tried to tag you that one time and I like couldn't find you when I was at the studio, and yeah, you're gonna have to do it because I don't have my phone's recording you. There's also this thing that happens when I take mushrooms. Like, wait, did I hit record on everything? I've done that multiple times.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've got you on here. It's not pulling up.
I'll look at.
I've seen your little promo clips.
But you can't do that with an like audio only, right? Like, there wouldn't be a.
No, you
like
just
if
have
you
to add audio to like a photo.
Right, yeah, and just people tune out. So having that is very helpful for promo, I feel, having the video along with it. Even though the entire podcast, not everyone listens or watches the video. So but all those like professional things is like all those professional things are the things that like would hold me back from starting. It's just like, oh, well, the audio quality is not good enough or whatever. So I just kept not starting.
Yeah, the audio quality is already upgraded. And
yeah.
Honestly, like,
but that's
like the best investment you could have made for your audio.
No, 100%. And I'm definitely doing that.
And you like got all of those. Yeah, that plugin's fucking dope.
So nice. So nice. I'm stoked for people to hear like the difference and see the difference for this next podcast to be put out versus the last ones.
And that's what you're gonna wear.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I was thinking about going shirtless. Like,
how do we start this thing?
Fat. What?
How do we start this thing?
So what?
We already started.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's no.
I thought there was like a big intro sound, and I'm like.
I might do that down the road, but.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. Thank you for doing this. Do you feel that little microdose, by the way, or no?
Yeah. Sure do.
Hell yeah.
That's why I stopped looking at my phone.
The screen gets all weird. These mushrooms are good. I've just been doing so many mushrooms since I stopped drinking. I did them before when I was drinking too.
This rug's amazing, by the way, too.
This rug.
Mm-hmm.
So this setup is. Have you ever seen like whitewater apartments at all, or did you ever see my? I guess you didn't. You know, whatever. I don't even think you were hanging out when I was over there.
No, we pretty much. I mean, after Neverland, we like run into each other every now and again.
Yeah.
But I think like I stopped seeing you around because every now and again I'd kind of pop in if you were like playing at like the Piper Pub
Piper
or
Pub before,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Like, but like, yeah, when you stop kind of playing
I stopped kind of
shows,
after I moved out too.
yeah, it was just like kind of didn't really.
I
I'd run
probably
into you
saw
around.
you like
I'd run into
3 times in like 10 years or 8 years.
yeah.
I saw you once at your house when you're downtown and I was
Well,
walking
like up
by.
until recently,
Yeah, yeah, until
recently,
recently.
until like
So
the last year or
what was
whatever.
that spot that you had like right downtown on like
Broad Street, the Bear House.
yeah. And I was just walking by and you're on the
Oh
porch. I was
yeah,
like, what up, dude? That
yeah,
was the first time I'd seen you in like 5 years.
yeah. That was pretty wild.
And I was
I
like, what are you you're
yeah,
here?
yeah,
But
yeah.
or maybe but then I saw you like I said when I was dating Maggie and I don't know how I ran into you, but then you're like come by Mackenzie's house and you're like, do you want some mushrooms? And that was the first time I'd take mushrooms again. And Maggie was like, oh yeah, yeah, and just pops them in. I was like, I don't really fucking hate mushrooms. They're scary as hell.
They're not really. I
But
mean,
that
they
was
can
probably
be.
that was probably I mean I dated Maggie like 7 years
Microdosing is
ago.
an amazing
6.
thing, though.
Oh, 100%.
Like, yeah,
Yeah, I do that a lot now. My routine now for days off when I'm trying to like do editing or whatever is like I do my morning stuff, go to the gym, work on stuff until like I get lunch. And so when I hit those like lulls at like 4, 5, 6 p.m., especially in the winter, I think it'll help. When you're like, I'm sleepy but I really want to work, but I don't want to like take caffeine or something, that's when I microdose. And I'll go for a walk. And by the time it kicks in, I'm like fully invigorated. I'm like, all right, let's do some shit. And then I sit back down and I work for 6 hours, 7 hours, like without like being tired or anything.
yeah,
Like it's just like go, 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 go.
yeah. I mean, lately I've been like the only time I've been able to get stuff done in the studio is because I'm not a morning person at
Yeah.
all. Is like late at night,
Yeah.
and like I'll be there all night working on stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but it's crazy because I'll get in this mode of like it might take a little bit to get that momentum going in the night, but then all of a sudden it's like 7 o'clock in the morning. And
Oh,
I'm
you
like,
gotta go
shit,
late.
dude. Like, yeah, I mean, I've spent like all night there. Like,
When are but you're doing managing the bar what 3 or 4 days a week, but
so
it's not till
now I'm
later.
bartending. I'm bartending like 4 shifts a week at least.
Yeah,
And
that's what I
then
mean. Sorry.
yeah, but it's
Guess
like
you're never
yeah, I mean we
just
don't.
managing.
I have the bar open at like 12 at
Mhm.
noon. And it's
That's
just
bad.
it's I have to be there for like beer delivery or beer orders and
That's
do
once a
liquor
week.
orders and like meet with reps and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And it's all during the day during the weekdays. So it's like if I'm gonna be there, because none of them can show up on time. Like if
Yeah.
you're like, okay, we're gonna like we'll meet you there at noon. It's like they'll be there between noon and like 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like if I'm gonna be there, I might as well be bartending,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. It makes it
making
work.
money.
Yeah.
Um, but then yeah, I'm also doing like all the booking and stuff there too.
Sure.
And then I work, some nights,
Yeah.
um, help out some nights, and then I don't, there's always shit that needs to be done.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I was just thinking about like late nights because I'll get like some inspiration and I'll keep working, but I'm like, dude, like once like it hits 2 or 3, I'm like, fuck, I gotta put in a 15-hour day tomorrow. Like Thursday night, I was trying to set up for this stuff, getting the microphones. I was working, like just researching, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden it's 2 a.m. And I was like, dude, I gotta work for 14 hours tomorrow. So that's what kills my like ambition
yeah, I
for
mean,
those days. But if it's like a Sunday, if I know I have nothing, then I'll stay. Then I feel fine working through the night or
yeah, I mean, there
chasing
was
a little bit of that, like whatever
like
creativity.
a little bit ago, worked on a Saturday night at the bar, and then went to the studio and worked all night, and didn't realize it was like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm getting fucked up. I'm like actually working
Yeah.
there. I might take a pinball break every couple hours, but
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that late or that early in the morning, and I
Yeah.
had to like pack up shit and be on the road by 9 o'clock in the morning and drive up to Sun Valley for a show.
Shit.
And I had to drive up to Sun Valley for a show, played the show, and then drove back that night.
Ugh.
And I had zero sleep, but when we got up there, we played outside for this event. It was actually crazy. It was that all the smoke that's coming in.
Mm.
Well, I think a lot of that's from Oregon, but there's that huge fire. It's the biggest
Don't
fire
they
in
have
the
one up
nation
there?
right now. Yeah, the Salmon,
Yeah.
just outside Salmon. So that like bursted into like chaos that day. We played at this
That day.
the end of this bike race, big mountain bike race. I
Yeah.
think they go from Stanley all the way to Sun Valley.
Yeah.
And we played it the last couple of years, and it's super fun because you have all these mountain bikers that get done from like basically riding all weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and
They
they
end
just
there?
want to drink. Yeah,
Okay.
it's in the park, and they just want to drink and like have a good time. And so like we get there, make sure it's still working.
I know that's.
New technology.
Yeah, yeah.
Welcome
Well,
to the
do
future.
you have to push a button when it?
If you just tap it, I think it just turns the screen.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what's nice about these ones because you can see.
Yeah.
Well, mine's like
So-
going Sorry, this is like. Oh, is it
It's
because
still
I'm
working.
touching it? Why is it like going like when I'm
Oh,
not
that's your-
talking? It's still going like.
I don't know, but it's not popping up over there.
No. Yeah, dope. All right.
We're good.
I guess if we see that, as long as they're both working, yeah.
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 Mushrooms.
Yeah, dude. I'll check like
So-
4 times.
Yeah. So anyway, we get like the last couple of years, you know, there's like 500 bike riders
Yeah.
that are just like there's breweries there and like, you know, live music and just, you know, a million Sprinter vans that are like amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm super jealous of all of them. But you know, we play and have a great time, and then they do a big awards ceremony. But we played, and like there's still 300 bikers on the trail,
Yeah.
like a couple hours away, because they were fighting 50-mile-an-hour headwinds going up over this like mountain, and then the fire's going, and so there's smoke everywhere.
Dude.
And like we look like when we got up there, you know, you could see like maybe a little bit of smoke over the mountains, and those winds pick up, and like within an hour, like the entire horizon over the mountains was just covered in smoke.
No way.
It was insane, yeah. And like all those bikers are out there fighting it, and there's like 300 of them that haven't even gotten to the finish line. We played; they had to do the awards for whatever the awards they can do,
Yeah.
because they only had the park until like 7 o'clock or something like that
Yeah.
at night. Like the permit was only pulled for that long.
Right, right.
And then I don't know. We left.
That's nuts.
We got our check and left, but
Yeah.
because we had to drive back. But I
Can you
got up
imagine
there.
getting caught out there and there's like fires
Yeah.
and you're trying to
I-
bike home? Or
Well, there's guys on like dirt bikes going up and down the trail, and they came back and they're just like, dude, there's a lot of riders still out there, and they're
Yeah.
ways away, and they're fighting 50-mile-an-hour winds. and
Ugh.
stuff like- yeah, pretty gnarly.
yeah.
And then so I feel bad because, you know, by the time they got back, I'm sure all the breweries and stuff were all packed up.
Yeah.
It's just we really want a beer, man.
Well, that's like some of those videos where you see people get caught in fires because they
Oh, yeah.
change so quick depending on the wind. So you think you're fine, and then all of a sudden, like,
Mhm.
not. I mean, I've never seen it up close. The closest I got was Glacier National Park was like 4 years ago. We went up, and you know how like so you go through Montana, Missoula, I think, and up around that lake, Flathead. I don't know if you've been up there.
I have.
So you go into that entrance on the west side, and there's this like we got this like little I don't know, there's like a restaurant, and it's on the one side of the lake, and there's some cabins and stuff. So we stayed there. And then that night when we were eating at the restaurant, we looked across the lake and there's some fire, but it was super small. And so we were like, there was a bunch of us like out there like looking at it, but it looked like they had it in control. We go the next day we went up to the going to the Sun Road, checked that all out, and to this farther side, stayed the night over there. By the third day, like you can't go back. And this huge fire had like burned some of this like 100-year-old house and stuff, or like some stuff. And we weren't able to go back that way, so there was only part of the park was still open. But then all these trails were closed because it's like all the wildlife was coming that way, like to escape the fires. So there's like, oh yeah, there's all these grizzlies and stuff. You can't go there. And we were hiking this other trail where we had taken some acid, and we're like walking through this, and I was like, dude, if I run into a grizzly on acid, like what? But yeah, so there was a lot of yeah, but it happened so fast, like within 24 hours, like this whole like fire just like took over that one side of the park. So we had to drive, like the other way, like through like long way through Montana and stuff.
The crazy thing is the night before we played up there, so Saturday night, or maybe it was Friday night, one of the two. But like right before we went up there, there's this big fire up Warm Springs up in Ketchum.
Okay.
And burned down this huge, like all these condos. And I met 3 people that lost all their like
oh shit
everything that day, and they're just out there drinking beer. They're like, oh.
I mean, I guess if you lived here long enough, you can. But
where I grew up, there was a lot of, we got like evacuated multiple times growing up.
Yeah.
Where'd
you grow up?
El Dorado Hills, California.
Okay, yeah.
Foothills. But like we got evacuated multiple times. Our house backed onto this forest that was like right outside Folsom Lake. We like walked down to Folsom Lake as kids and stuff. Rattlesnakes everywhere. It was gnarly. But we used to do, my parents used to have us do drills where it's like, grab a bag of clothes, you get one toy, and then we'd pack all of our pictures, all the stuff that is not replaceable.
Yeah.
And throw it in the van and we'd leave.
What was your toy?
It was usually at a stuffed animal that was like a big killer whale.
You bring like the biggest thing.
Well, I could hit my brother with it. Yeah.
Shit.
It was like my comfort thing,
Yeah.
Did
you ever have an actual fire, like we had to evacuate, or was it just you were just doing those for drills?
No, we had to evacuate like 3 or 4 times growing up.
That's so gnarly to me.
Our neighbors, well, not neighbors, but one of our friends that are in the same neighborhood. It wasn't a very big neighborhood, but they had after the first time, they installed sprinklers on their roof.
Yeah.
That would just go around, he'd kick them on, and like they'd go around and spray everything around his house to try and keep the fires, because they got really close.
Yeah.
Multiple times. And thank the heavens for the firefighters that saved our houses so many times.
How often do you think that firefighters have to deal with people that are like hanging on too long? Like no, you got to go, like before they, because I feel like that happens a lot where they're like, no, like let us like, we're still getting more stuff. We're still getting more stuff or whatever.
Yeah. So this actually happened. Pops, who cleans Vista Bar, his house burned down a few years ago.
Shit.
And he lives up here on the bench. Some kids were playing with matches and set big grass. He was like right down the hill from the canal.
Yeah.
Like just basically you got Vista before.
Yeah.
So he was at the bottom of the hill and set the hill on fire. He was taking a nap in his bedroom. Well, he goes to bed early, have some beers after work, and if there's not a baseball game, he'll probably just go to bed. But he was asleep and his house was on fire. Woke up, there's smoke everywhere. He freaks out. He's going in and out of the house. Fire department's there, and they literally had to stop him from going back in.
Yeah.
Because he's like, all my stuff's in there.
Yeah.
And he's older, like, he's a vet, Vietnam vet. Like he's everything he owns, everything, and he's not like he recently got a smartphone, and we put him on Plenty of Fish.
Oh, nice.
He doesn't know how to work it.
Yeah.
But we set him up with a date. I think he's too scared to go on it.
How old is he again?
It's probably like 60.
Okay.
He won't tell me. He won't even tell me his birthday. I had to find out his birthday.
That's so funny.
We're actually sending him to his first. He's a huge Mariners fan. We raised a bunch of money. We all pitched in. We're flying him to Seattle to see 2 Mariners games on Tuesday. He's scared shitless.
Is anyone going with him?
Yeah, we can't send him alone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like what?
Like, he'd probably because he only drinks.
I have a regular at my bar going there.
He drinks Bud Light. That's all he drinks. It's the only beer in town. That's what he says.
Yeah.
He'd probably walk to the stadium, find a pub right across the street from the stadium that's got TVs, and sit there and drink Bud Light and watch the game.
Yeah.
In that pub.
Yeah.
With the stadium right across the street, he'd be totally fine doing that.
I can see that.
But we're sending Justin with him.
Nice.
He's like, how much are beers at the stadium? I'm like, probably like $16.
Yeah. You at a bar. That'll be fine. When did he buy that?
What?
He's the owner, right?
No, he's just a cleaner.
Oh,
He's the guy
okay.
that cleans it.
Okay, never mind.
Jeff, the owner, he bought it January 2020.
Yeah, okay.
Best time to buy a bar because when COVID happened, we're gonna
Yeah.
shut you down.
Yeah, because my friend Nikki used to work there, but the guy she worked with was a scumbag or something. I don't know. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, that
That's
was
what she
before
said.
my
This is
time.
years. Yeah,
'Cause,
yeah,
like
this is years
Sam
ago.
owned it before Jeff, and
I want to
then
say this is probably 8 years,
I can't
maybe.
remember. Yeah, I only worked for Sam. I worked for Sam for like 6 or 7 years or something like
Okay.
that. And then Jeff bought it, and then he asked me to manage it, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do it, but you got to let me run it the way I want to run it. And
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
he's like, okay. And then I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't know what I'm doing.
Dude, it's gotten way better though.
Yeah.
Dude, that place used to, like, I lived in the bench since I moved out of our house, right? So I have lived here and going to bars. I would never go there because it's always just like garbage.
Dude, I
Like,
lived up here
it wasn't
too.
even a cool garbage bar. Like, there's cool garbage bars, and then,
Mhm.
like, it just wasn't, like, it was just,
Yeah.
yeah. So I went once or twice here or there. I was like, this place sucks. And there was no one there too. And now every fucking time I go there, there's people there. I went I forget what day it was. I was like, oh, it'll
It's
just be
great.
pretty
I got the
mellow.
best-
And
I got the
there's
best
so
staff
many
in the world.
people there.
I got the best staff in the world, though.
Yeah. But I'm saying it's just like it's like it's way more popular. It's way more like people like to go there again. I just feel like it,
Yeah.
there's always going to be a few regulars that go there, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it's way
great,
better.
dude. We're having a great time.
That's good. Yeah, man, you did a good
The
job.
crazy thing is, it's so funny because you say you lived on the bench pretty much the whole time since we lived together.
Yeah.
I've only not lived on the bench one other time. I've lived in 4 houses on the bench. That
Yeah.
was when I was living downtown.
On Broad, yeah.
And yeah, and then other than that, like before I met you, I was living in Nampa.
Yeah, yeah.
And then before I was in Nampa, I was in California.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, for those who are listening, you and I have known, what, 11 years? Or yeah, because whenever I moved to
probably.
Boise, it was like 6 months after. When we first started like playing music at that house, and then you popped around.
But I've never played in a band with him.
Yeah. What was it? Yeah, I remember seeing
Not
you
yet.
at Matt Hopper at the Knitting Factory,
Yeah.
and I remember seeing you play bass. And then, I mean, it was like ages later not ages, but a few months later, you're hanging around. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's wild. That's a trip, hole.
It's been a wild time, man.
Yeah, dude.
The crazy thing is, I feel like we've gotten to know each other more now than when we lived together.
Oh yeah, well you were always like, I mean, we lived together, but we still didn't really hang out as much because you had like Chelsea, Mackenzie, and you kind of hung out, and then I was always just trying to fuck girls, so I was just like
Yeah,
constantly.
you're really good at it, though.
Yeah, I remember you listening.
I don't want to bring that story up.
Well, dude, everything was so close too. So you had Carrie and Alyssa, me, you,
I mean, we were close.
Chelsea,
there were
there,
so many
and
of
then
us
Will was
living-
on the other side, right?
Yeah.
Will and Danica.
There were so many of us like living there though that like we never really had very much like one-on-one
Yeah.
time. Like
There's
you and
just
I never
always-
like sat down
yeah.
like this and talked.
I think
Like,
it
we
got
have
crazier when
lately.
I left too. There was like more people because like
Oh,
Brock
dude, it
lived
was-
there and
Robbie was like
Robbie lived there.
he
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
like
that's right.
live there because he never
Yeah.
paid rent or anything,
Right.
but he never really left.
Yeah.
He'd leave like once a week.
Yeah.
Just to
Just
like
to say
go
he
do
doesn't live
laundry
there.
and like sleep, maybe get some sleep in. But I mean, we never really had. I mean, we hung out. And,
I think the most I remember hanging out was pre-Chelsea when you were still it was me, you and Mackenzie. And I remember doing coke all night, and then we had ran out of beer, and we were just waiting for like 8 a.m. to hit to go get another like case of Rolling Rocks.
walking down the
And
street.
then we walked down to get those. That was like,
Yeah, I mean,
and that was pre like Chelsea because I remember you were like, I think she was coming around, but that was pre you guys like.
well, Chelsea
getting together.
lived there. Yeah, I think it was like Carrie. Carrie's the one that like I knew,
Yeah.
and that's how I met Chelsea and Mackenzie and all them.
Yeah, I don't
But yeah.
remember when Mackenzie and Chelsea, or how I met them. I must have met them through Carrie. Because it was me and Carrie and Daniel and the business. And when Daniel and the business left, then we got Will. I don't know what that noise was.
That's probably your camera doing the reset thing.
I've never seen
Oh wait, maybe your
laptop.
What about
do
your
that shit.
laptop?
Did I not plug this in? No,
No,
that's
it's
still
still
going.
going.
I've never seen a screen shaver.
Was it the phone or
That one's still on.
no? The camera doing the reset thing that you were
Oh
talking about?
yeah. Let's see if that worked. Oh fuck, I can't touch that. Oh yeah. I program it to well, I guess I could just
You're gonna have to do some good editing on all this.
that's the other thing that terrified me about doing this shit was the editing. What? Oh, look at this. That like fell off maybe when I like sat down the first time. It's a good thing we have those things going. Um,
So I actually totally forgot to even mention this. One of the best ways to get the audio to match up.
it's like a clap.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there you go. We'll look for that one.
Well, you have to do it on all of them.
Right.
But I mean, you can. It's easy to if you know, because these record audio. They all record their own audio too, right?
That one does. I set this one on just for that. This one to record like better audio just in case something fouled with that, so I'd have all of them.
Right, right. And then the phone does it.
Phone
They all
too.
have their own.
Yeah,
audio.
yeah. So you look at that clip,
And so you can just
why did it go back to
back to black?
No, it went back to the automatic focus. That was weird. Like normally it stays where it
always
was.
said goodbye.
There we go. That's close. I'm probably only going to clip to this here and there using, and then I can determine which next time which. Oh yeah, that one's still working.
Yeah, we're still good.
But I don't know how long that fell out. But regardless.
Yep. It happens.
Yeah, I normally with bathroom breaks. The clapping thing's a really good idea though.
Yeah.
That's why
You just go like this.
You know what's funny is I was telling somebody about that, about the snipper, or whatever you call it, the clacker. Yeah, the clacker, for like movie sets. And they're like, when I was telling them that's how they sync the audio, they're like, oh my God, like most people don't realize that's what that's for.
Yeah, because it
I'm
tells
like,
you what take it is.
and typically don't they write the take on it?
Yeah, it's got the take.
So it has the video and the clip.
The scene, the take, all that
But
stuff.
the
And
clip thing, like, why do they always do that?
Yeah.
You know, but yes, like all
well,
these.
you know, you could do is every time, you know, you have something like that or a bathroom break, you just have a little shot glass that says take 3, take 4, and you just go like this.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh,
oh, that sounded cool.
That's actually a really good.
I want to record that in here.
Yeah, you're welcome to.
All right.
This is pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it's very cool. Where'd you get this?
Fucking Wayfair. I have bought so much shit on Wayfair. I'm just trying to get the kid, and they never send me it. If you buy the cabinet, it's supposed to come with a kid in it. You ever heard that conspiracy theory? This was like a while back.
Like a kitten?
A kid, like.
Oh,
this is how they like thought sex slavery was happening, or sex trafficking, or child trafficking.
I've never heard. I mean, I'm familiar with all those things. I've never.
I hang out with a lot more right-leaning people, probably than you, but just like in general.
We're in Idaho.
Yeah, that is fair.
And I am a bartender.
Yeah.
A musician. You ever played in Idaho City?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. But you never heard this one then?
No.
Damn. Okay. Huh. But yeah, it was 4 years ago, and it was kind of when QAnon was starting to pop off, and they're like, kids are getting like Wayfair is shipping kids in these big cabinets, and
all you got was kittens.
Kids.
Yeah, but all you got was kittens in it.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I didn't even get them I got those from Overstock.
Okay, so they're sending kids over.
Yeah, so there was cabinets, and they would have like a kid's name and the number, and people thought and the cabinets were $10,000. So like Wayfair is like disguising these cabinets, and they're sending these kids. It was how the
it's just a cheaper version of adoption.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But turns out that the cabinets are like really, they're like mechanic cabinets, like $10,000 like chest of drawers, like super
they're
metal.
like actually $10,000.
Yeah. And yeah,
And all the people that are like, who would spend $10,000 on a cabinet? And they're like, I would because I need something like that.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of people do. But yeah, I buy a shit ton of flavor. So that couch.
So where are you hiding all the kids then?
I didn't show you downstairs.
No.
Fuck.
You showed me the balcony.
Oh yeah, that's a distraction point. I just got that. Oh no, was that Wayfair? Yeah. So my new patio set. So
Yeah,
the
I saw the 7,000 boxes on your front porch.
Yeah, I've looked through them all. No kids. It's annoying.
Yeah, but there's still so many you haven't opened.
That's true.
They're probably hungry. You need some fresh air.
Dude, we were out there. We would have heard them.
Should we do an unboxing of your patio floor?
Yes.
It'd be so exciting.
Yeah. That would be
like grab a box real quick. We can do one box.
Yeah.
They don't even know
what if that's the one that has a kid?
Yeah, there's like 3 of them in there. It's like this big.
Yeah, I do want to get that. So I got the fireplace, a little like propane guy.
That's one of the kids.
Yeah. Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah. I forget where else. Oh yeah, but this stuff was my old living room at the old apartment.
So I was telling you, it's nice that you don't have a big yard because you don't have to worry about it. It's also nice that you didn't get any kids in your cabinets because like you don't really have a yard for them to like mow or anything for you.
Yeah, I'm sure I could figure out other work for them. Dude, I was just hearing about who's that old actor that like they're pretty sure his wife was like he married his wife and she was like 14 and she was basically like a mail order bride or something, but he's like super big. Woody Allen? Is that him?
Yeah, that's old news.
Right, but it was like a big thing where people were like,
he adopted her.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
But yeah, you have to
don't quote me on it.
I don't know the story either too much. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait.
Like he adopted
then he married her later.
She became of age and then he married her. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Man. Dude, the thing is,
that's fucking wild.
I mean, Hollywood's all smoke and mirrors, man.
Yeah.
Everything is. This is like the music industry.
Yeah.
Like, nobody can sing as good as Freddie Mercury or Prince or Matt Bellamy.
Yeah.
Like, they all are really good singers.
Yeah. Have you?
But like Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
Like, there's people that have it, like Aretha Franklin.
There's the people that pop through, but yeah.
Janis Joplin. Like, all these people have incredible voices, but like 95% of the stuff you hear on the radio these days, they can't sing like that.
No.
It's all just smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, yeah.
And honestly, like, you can do it live now too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Live auto-tune.
Yeah.
Like, everyone.
And it's so good these days.
Yeah, like, you can't hear it. Yeah, I mean, you can do that auto-tune effect.
Yeah.
Like, sound like T-Pain or whatever. But you can have your vocals tuned to where it just sounds like you're a really great singer.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so much you can do with tone and stuff like that. But
can you pre-program those tones? You know how Carrie's old voice box.
Yeah.
You could pre-program like a chord progression, and then those like harmonizers would go out with your voice.
Oh yeah, you can do that, but I mean.
Or normally it's like from the guitar.
Sounds almost synth-like.
Sure.
You know? But like, I mean, everyone can sing on pitch if they know how to do it.
I guess I feel like
if they know
some rappers who never sang, they still have some songs that they would be performing live where they sing it, but you also use backtracks and shit.
But I mean, yeah, everyone does. We've all played in bands that use backing tracks.
Have you ever heard this? There's this dude that I discovered like last year, and he's like on one of these contest shows of, but it's not American Idol. It's like some talent show in Asia, or no, I think it's in the Middle East. But there's this like Middle Eastern Asian guy, and I have this song on my playlist, and he is like an incredible voice, but it's just like very different. He has opera, but then he has like a harsh side, like he can do like the sing scream, and then he in this song he like tests he goes for 7 octaves. He like starts here into this like super high, sounds like a opera singer, like a female opera singer from 1600s, just like super. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah,
I'll just send you this song.
Okay.
It's pretty
Here's a
wild.
great example.
He's not in the top 40. I was just bringing this up
So
randomly.
I have to be very careful about. Well, I don't know. You know, my roommate
Yes.
might be wearing a shirt.
And dude, I wore your roommate's shirt in like 3 of my videos. I've just realized.
No, it's fine.
No, it's dope.
But he was just on a show on a major network
Yeah.
that was hosted by
Did it air yet?
Snoop Dogg, yeah,
Oh,
and Kelly Clarkson and stuff like
Yeah.
that, right?
right.
It's a songwriting competition.
Yeah.
And it was live. Him and one other person are the only people that actually sung live
Oh yeah.
on his episode. And then on top of that,
I can see that.
the majority of all the people that were on those performing
hmm
didn't write those songs. They're written by like 5 to 20 other people.
Yeah. It's like pre-made for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the only thing that was live on his performance was his vocal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And other people didn't even have their vocals live.
Right.
But everything else was just played to a track.
Yeah.
But it's live. It's like Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Super Bowl, like, with the exception of like Prince played guitar live.
Yeah, dude,
And there's vocals that are live.
who was it recently that were like, we agreed to it because it's a Super Bowl and it's logistics?
The Chili Peppers, they didn't even have
yeah.
their instruments plugged in.
Yeah, that was like
They're
their
not gonna-
six.
because it's
They
not,
did that on purpose.
because you have a certain amount of time and it's live, right? You have
Yeah,
a
the
certain
logistics are
like
impossible.
it's just ridiculous. And to make something sound good
In the
in
middle
that
of a
short
football
time,
stadium,
when
that's
you're bringing in this
normally had-
giant stage
yeah.
and have all these other performers
Yeah.
and all these cameras
For
and all
sure.
these, it's like there's no fucking way that
my
could
favorite.
happen. Unless all those people are gonna rehearse that 1,000 times, which
Oh, yeah.
nobody has the time
No.
for that. They do a couple of rehearsals in a backstage, like in a stage, like whatever, in a big
Yeah.
warehouse, and then they come in and they show up and they play, but like the vocals are live most of the time,
Most
or
of them.
some of them,
Yeah.
and then like Prince's guitar was live, I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
Like, because who's gonna tell Prince he can't play guitar?
Right.
'Cause
How long ago was he though?
I don't know, but he played Purple Rain and it started raining. It was fucking ridiculous.
I mean, he is a god.
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty logical that he would
not drink to that.
have that happen.
Like the thing is, people don't understand like how fake a lot of live music is.
Sure.
And it's fine. It's like, do you want it to sound good? Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. When somebody is playing on Saturday Night Live and they play the wrong track or something, it's like, that's really embarrassing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like a fuck up. But like the reality of it is like a lot of those people are doing the same thing. They just didn't get caught.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So in the music industry is just like, it's like, it's like photography. Like you and I have done a lot of photography. You still do a lot of photography and you're great at it. You're fucking killing it, actually, Josh.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. But you and I both know that, like, there's a lot you can do with, and some of it's just lighting. A lot of it is just lighting.
Oh.
A lot of it is lighting, to be honest with you. But that's just like using good microphones or getting good guitar tones, or like,
Yeah.
that's like lighting
Right.
is, when it comes to music, it's like that, or like a good performance. But then a lot of it is Photoshop.
Mhm.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Photoshop. It's probably Photoshop.
Yeah.
Which is fine, or not even necessarily Photoshop. There's a lot of other things you can do, like Instagram filters.
Right.
But like it's, the thing is like we have these expectations. This is what it is, and like it's gotten to a point where when you see people, like I met Angelina Jolie,
That's
at the Walt Disney Backlot Studios. My
Mhm.
brother has done some work with them. We got this private tour, which is not open to the public. And she walked right past me and made eye contact. I had to like say, if I see somebody famous, I can't like engage with
Right.
them unless they engage in me. But walked right past me, made eye contact and smiled, and she's like this much shorter than me.
Yeah.
And she was in sweatpants, no makeup, and she's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like she is a beautiful woman, a lot shorter than I thought she would be, but a lot of people
Sure.
in Hollywood are.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, so
Why
there's
is it
people.
that like actors are all short? It seems like what's about short person that makes
Tom
you like,
Cruise and
yeah, yeah. I'm sure it's not
I don't
everything, but
know.
it does seem to be like all the big ones end up being shorter than you think.
I mean, Prince was like 5'2",
Yeah, it's crazy.
and he wanted to be a basketball player.
Yeah.
And he's really good at basketball.
Is it
I bet
just
he could still kick everyone's ass in basketball wearing the heels that he wears on stage when he plays music. Serious.
maybe there's something like the short man syndrome where it's like I'm gonna fucking do anything.
I'm gonna be huge.
Yeah.
I want to
I'm
see
gonna
myself on the big screen.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, you have like more ambition to be like make something of yourself.
I don't know.
Because some short guys do it in the gym, right? They're just like, oh, I'm gonna be stacked. So like you have that short man syndrome, you know, it's just like they're just like super swole.
Yeah, you have like guys with tiny dicks have giant trucks.
Yeah. I was gonna get a giant truck, but I couldn't afford it.
So glad you didn't.
Well, I have a tiny dick, and I was gonna get the truck. I was also poor.
I know you don't have a tiny dick.
Have you ever seen that Family Guy where he finds out that his son has a big, like, huge dick, and so he's like starts buying all this like shit.
No.
That's pretty funny.
It's pretty funny.
It is a hard thing to know for sure if the big truck thing is because we're in Idaho. And it's like everyone has big trucks. It's like, do they all have little dicks?
So here's
Or
the thing, though.
They are.
Here's the thing with the
Some
big
people
trucks,
have.
right? Because you have these big trucks that have never even seen a gravel road,
Right.
right? And they're all like lifted, like they just want to like get their gas mileage down to the lowest possible.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like people that have, yeah, they're like, I just need it for hauling things. I have to have a truck. But
Well,
I'm like,
I mean, okay.
like, do you have to? But regardless, some people. But
There's
it is
people
Idaho.
that have
You just drive
there's
trucks.
people that have big trucks that use them for big
Mhm.
trucks, right? Or they even, at least even like take them off roading,
Right.
you know, cover them in mud. And then there's people that have big trucks or like big like renegade monster Jeeps that are like, you know, $70,000,
Yeah.
but like literally have not left the city.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm sure.
and it's like they have this big like snorkel thing. I don't even know what they're called because you know what I'm talking about? Like Jeeps that'll have like that snorkel thing. Like it's an air
Oh,
intake,
yeah,
so
so
they
you
can
could-
like drive
Mhm.
underwater. You know?
Yeah.
Like I don't
Yeah.
really know any. I know a little bit about that kind of stuff, but I've never even
Yeah.
like I don't know what it's called. I call it a snorkel. I don't know.
I don't know nothing about
Periscope?
cars.
An aeroscope. It's an aeroscope.
An aeroscope.
Anyway,
Aeroscope.
it's like they don't like they just spent so much money because they wanted something that looks cool to other people.
Yeah. I mean,
Like-
some look really good, but
I mean, yeah, they're
so
rad
expensive.
looking Jeeps, but like
I heard that I forget who told me this, but what do you think the number one car is driven by millionaires?
Tesla.
Ford F-150.
Oh, right on.
That's what they told me this, so I haven't confirmed.
I have a smaller version of that.
But I was like, oh yeah, it kind of it's just
I
like
have an
that.
old Ford Ranger.
Yeah.
I love
But
it.
yeah, it's just like because they're still expensive, you know, to like get a really beefy F-150.
Oh,
Like
yeah, if you get,
80,
like-
90, 100.
Well, you have
I don't
like
know,
all
maybe
these
more.
ranchers that get like the Longhorn edition or what I don't know what they call it. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're a rancher, you need a fucking
It's
truck.
like yeah, and they get these really fancy ones, right? And like they put them to work.
Yeah. I have friends that have trucks that are like for that one or two times a year when I need to haul things, but they still, I'm like, okay, yeah, I mean, sure.
Yeah,
If I had
have
the
a
money,
small
I
truck.
would buy probably an SUV though, still. Not a truck.
No,
Wow.
I would. I'd buy a Sprinter, hands down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's like the low end on a Sprinter?
Uh, I don't know. I want 4-wheel drive though.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't need any fancy thing inside. I gut it and fucking build it out myself.
That'd be cool. I've seen some really
They're
nice
gonna be
ones, but
mine. I know. Yeah, you can spend a
Yeah.
lot of money on them.
I've been
But-
torn on like, do I want to either get an SUV where I at least can like lay the seats down and like crash in, or get something that I can have the roof like camper thing. Those are pretty fun. I like those.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
I've been looking for like a cool shelf for my Ranger
Yeah.
because I can, you know, put a little bed. Have you seen those tents that go on top of like Jeeps and like trucks, like
Yeah, that's what I
the
mean, like
tent
the
that's like
flat
on
one.
top of the
Yeah.
shell. That's on top of the shell that like pops up and it's a tent
Yep.
up there.
That's what I'm
That's
talking
pretty
about.
cool.
That would probably get something like that.
I really like some of those. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they do make them now. They're just stupid expensive, but the ones that like go into the bed and then over the top of the cab,
Um.
they're
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
campers
yeah.
that go like
I don't know what
sit in
they
the
call
back
those,
of the.
but I know exactly what I mean.
Yeah, I don't know what
My
they're
dad
called
used to have
either.
one.
So I have a friend that had one, and like they're really rad, but like A, it's like killing your gas mileage because it's super heavy, and B,
If you don't have anywhere to store it, you don't just want to be driving that thing around.
yeah,
Like that's like to
it's
store
like
that
Beverly
piece.
Hillbillies when they're going.
Yeah, yeah. Like my dad could take his off and then we put it on for you back
Yeah,
up
you
under
have to.
it.
Yeah, you
But
have to.
like if you don't have anywhere to store it and you're always driving that around, that's annoying. I don't have anywhere to store shit like that.
Yeah, you might as well just have a little camper.
Yeah.
You can tow, but it's nice not having to tow stuff. Like even when I
That's what
tour,
that rooftop camper though is
yeah,
like
even when I
perfect.
tour, like I'd rather be able to fit everything in the back of a van or a Sprinter
Yeah. We had that
than having
15
to.
passenger, it was pretty nice. We
Yeah,
stacked it, but
yeah, and you can make it work without a
yeah.
trailer. I've toured across the country multiple times with a trailer, and it sucks when you get in like New York City
Ugh.
trying to park a van in a trailer.
Nope. I have to pee. Take a pee break. Do
All right,
you have to pee?
I'll just sit here and tell stories.
Okay, perfect. So I did this new way of capsuling. It's like does 100 at a time, and then you can press it down. So now I'm hoping I'll like have consistency in each one, and then I'll feel like the right amount for podcasting, especially while being not drinking booze. So yeah, two is it's nice. It's tricky.
Dude, this restaurant did a 9/11 themed menu.
What?
Yeah, first responder flatbread,
Oh my
flight
god.
flight 93 redirect crab dip,
Jesus Christ.
Pentagon pie,
Pentagon pie. I do like the alliteration.
there's a martini called Remember Teeny.
Remember teeny? That they could do better with that. Where is this at? Does it say? Or is it just like a article? Or like a meme?
Manhattan.
Oh.
Anyway, wow, people in the world.
I can't see that flying in Manhattan, but I guess maybe. My roommate, I he has a tattoo on his arm that says I give him shit anytime he's like, dude, that's a little insensitive. And I was like, bro, you're the person who got that tattoo. He's like, oh yeah. He has it says 910, never forget. And like and he's like I'm like, dude, you're just asking to get your ass kicked depending where
That
you
is
go.
so, yeah, that is,
And I mean it's like so anytime that I say something like he's like, dude, that's a bit too far. And I'm
I
like,
gotta
bro,
say
look at your
though,
shoulder.
I gotta say though that that's like, I don't know.
I mean,
I probably shouldn't say anything on this
oh yeah,
about that.
I love offensive humor, so like
I do
I
too.
would never do that as a tattoo, but I find the humor in it, and I find a humor in almost every fucked up situation. But
Totally. I mean, that's comedy though. You
yeah,
have to be able to like look at something like
I just
whenever.
wouldn't tattoo that for life, having like a joke or like having an offensive thing, but it's pretty funny. There was one time
Yeah,
when
but I've seen your tattoos.
mine are mine are cool.
I don't know. Nah, yeah, that one just reminded me that you
Normally,
and I have a very religious background.
normally when I show people when people are like, "Oh, is that coexist?"
Mm.
and I have got it so many times like, "Fuck." So I'm like, "No, no, I don't like any of these religions, so I have them on my arm. So I like these are the
You
religions. I
should
want
just
to
say.
kill
You should
everyone."
just say, yeah, it is, but I'm just dyslexic.
Yeah. um. Where's it going with this? Oh, so after it was him and I were at the Neuralux when we found out that Trump beat Hillary. Is it Hillary first time? Yeah. And everyone was pissed off, and we were on mushrooms, and I said something. I just said some like fucking fucked up joke. I can't remember what I said. And
Dude, me and like 4 people drank a handle of Jack Daniels right when that happened.
Right.
Fucking downed it.
Yeah, so there was, I forget who was in the Neuralux, but they're all pissed off. And I said something like whatever. And then like Chris is just like, dude, I think they're all really pissed in there. I was like, he's like, you like that was really offensive. Like people are really upset. And I was just like, bro, look at your arm. He's like, oh yeah. I was like, no matter what I do, like I mean, we're both like this. Yeah, we just like to be offensive. We like to fuck around with people.
Yeah, and that's okay because you're not actually like I mean, you're just offending people's ideas of things.
Yeah, you're challenging ideas most times.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah.
I think it's more offensive when people go and like, I don't know, like those guys with the ARs down at the Capitol and that 18-year-old like accidentally shot his off.
Oh, is that here?
Yeah.
I don't know if I heard about that.
That was like when they were doing all those Trump rallies. Like,
Yeah.
it was a while ago, but like it's just one of those things that's like, it's like I'm not like necessarily gonna say I'm like pro-gun or like anti-gun. Like, man, definitely pro-choice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you're gonna be pro-choice, you got to be pro-choice about everything. And
Yeah.
one of the things that makes America great is that we're allowed,
Yeah. For
supposedly allowed to believe whatever we want to believe.
Right.
But that doesn't give you the that doesn't give you the right to be an asshole. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what you believe. If you're an asshole, you're still an asshole.
Yeah.
But like, you know, you have a kid that 18 years old bought a rifle legally and went legally to protest his right to have it.
Yeah.
And accidentally shot it off, and it was, thank God, whatever God you believe in or don't believe in, that it like went into the ground and didn't hit somebody.
That's fucking nuts. I did not hear about that.
But like, it's just like, and you got a felony or something like that. I think, I don't know. I never really followed up on it. Just like, but it was downtown, and I have a lot of friends that work downtown. A lot of friends that were downtown, and you hear, and like everyone's on edge. Like, I mean, when you and I grew up, like we didn't have kids going into, like when I was in 3rd grade, I didn't have to like worry about somebody coming in and shooting a bunch of me and my friends. Like,
yeah, it definitely popped out. Well, I was in high school for like when Columbine happened. I was like 14 maybe. But then yeah.
But and like that was like a, you know, that was a freak thing.
Yeah.
Like that, and now it happens all the fucking time.
You know what's crazy to me is like, speaking of like just like freedom for like, you have to respect all the freedoms. Totally. I find it like very weird about Texas because I was kind of like, I grew up with guns, and then I like lean more liberal now. But I was just like, yeah, like I'm not really like for taking guns, but if it saved a bunch of lives, like cool. So I guess I would say I did start leaning left on the argument or like whatever. Right. And then COVID happened, and now I lean more right, like on guns, because I'm just like I can see governments just taking over. Like, yeah, it's good we have guns.
I mean,
that's the one thing so what I find interesting is like Texas, they were like freedoms, guns, so they're like, but not choice or not drugs. That's another big one. Like no marijuana. I'm like, you guys are about freedom. Yeah. So that seems weird to me. Like, just have it all free, like for sure. Like, yes, guns, but also yes, abortions, and yes, drugs. Yeah. Like, if you want,
if you're gonna be pro-choice,
yeah, that's how I lean.
Be pro-choice. You know, you can say, hey, I want this. You can't say I want this and don't want that.
Right.
But I do think that, like, you know, like we can, like it takes me more steps as somebody that like doesn't have a record or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Like, it takes me more steps to get a driver's license than it does to get a gun.
It's very weird.
And that's
a weird thing.
You know, I have to like learn how to use a car at least somewhat, or, you know, pretend like I know how to use it.
Right. It's a very, very weird
with the gun, you don't. So like, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, that would be a very logical thing to have people
right?
have to learn how to use it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Like pass a
Yeah.
basic test.
I think most people are for that. Even like most, I think
Yeah,
most
but
gun owners are.
but everyone thinks that
not
like
the assholes.
they're like they're like putting a joke. Like I don't even know how to use this motherfucking thing.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, we did like obviously we grew up with guns and on the farm,
yeah.
but the people that don't, yeah, you should like.
Yeah.
I drove I drove a car when I was
be,
10, but I still had to get the license when I was
totally.
like legally doing it. Yeah,
Totally.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I still don't have a license in 38. I'm just kidding.
I mean, you did ride that sick bike. I do like that bike.
Yeah,
I wish I had one.
I just knew that I was going to be drinking tequila here, so.
Fuck yeah.
Also, just to be like on the other side of things, like how far do you let it go?
Mm-hmm.
Like, can we keep a nuke in your garage?
Yeah, you have to draw the line somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how free is freedom?
That was the other thing. Okay, so there's a lot of those laws that they have federally that you can argue one side or the other, but you still like as a country have to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah.
Like age to where do we call a person a minor or not? We've decided as collectively as a society 18. Where do you decide if you can send somebody off to the military? We decide 18. The drinking age, we decided is 21. I mean, we didn't decide. What was that noise again? What the fuck was that noise? Is it the same thing?
I think it's got to be your camera just redoing.
I've never seen this before, which is weird.
It's just going to like.
Oh, it might have been this guy? Oh, yeah. That was this guy. Okay. This one's still going. Perfect. Dope. All still working that I know of. There's still light. Can't really check that.
And
guess I can check that. Oh yeah, that's still going. The one thing I was worried about was running out of space on my phone because these all have 128 gigabytes, but this one is like definitely used up. So I think I have like 80 left. Cheers.
Action.
These non-alcoholics do taste like Heineken's. They're nice.
Kind of skunky.
So this is the first podcast that I'm not like ridiculously blitzed.
Cool. I'm glad I can just, be on double.
Yeah, double duty for you.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if, But I did take a double duty on this mushroom.
Before I leave, I'm going to take a double duty in your bathroom. Pound it, brother.
Please don't. That was good. Please
you can keep that in there. Yeah, the thing is like it's weird that you have to like, but then like there's this whole like, government's too big, government's too small,
Yeah.
And like everyone's like grabbing their guns or everyone's just being like, dude, just leave me alone. Like I'm just gonna chill on the beach, I'm gonna chill in the mountains, I
feel like that's
maybe take my paddleboard out to the river and I don't know. Like I've never felt like I've needed to carry a gun. But I also know people that have been in situations where,
Yeah.
But like I choose to believe
I know it's
in people a little bit
which is
better.
Nice.
Yeah,
like I know kids that like grew up in the inner city and they're like, oh fuck.
At the mall not too long ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like that was weird.
Dude,
it's a good thing I don't like going to the mall.
I don't think I've ever told this on camera. I was driving to work. This does not involve guns, but this is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Except for these guns. Finger guns. All right.
This kind? Oh. I guess it's not really a gun. I was driving to work, and I look up, and this body flies through the air and lands on the highway in front of me. And I was just like, and it dropped behind like my vision because there was like this section that was like protruding and I couldn't see it for a second. And I was like, am I seeing things? And I did take mushrooms the night before, actually. I was like, is this like residuals? And then I was like, a bag. And then when I pulled over, sure enough, well, actually, it was still really, really fast. But there was like this body laying there as I passed. So it was like the connector from downtown Boise and then I'm coming on this. So where it all merges together, and there's Cole Road and all those connectors there. They jumped off Cole Road, and I see it flying through the air. And I like drive past, and I see the body. I was like, oh fuck. And then there's all these cars coming. I was like, oh fuck. So I called 911, and like I couldn't get through. But yeah, this lady jumped off. But I just like looked up, and I see this body flying.
Right?
8 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Dave, that works at the V,
Yeah.
lives right off that street. He was driving to work and saw her jump off.
Yeah. Yes, that's what
And
I'm
you
saying.
saw her land.
Yeah, well, no, I saw her fall. I did not see her jump. I saw the body
so he was
in the air.
Yeah, he was up top and watched her as he was driving by, watched her jump off.
That's crazy.
And you were there.
There was only
you were there like,
and there wasn't a lot of cars, so I was the only one. I was the only. I looked around. There's no cars coming this way. It was a very like mellow morning, and when I came by, because there's like these like the two highways are connecting, and she was more on this side. So I saw it from over here, and when I pulled over, I looked over, and the body was there, and then there's these cars coming up from the city.
Yeah, so you're on the bottom.
Yeah.
So he was on top at the exact same time.
So a car hit her. A car hit her, and then
that's wild.
Yeah. But it was like that's probably one of the craziest things I've like seen in my eyes, because it felt like a movie, you know, like it feels like somebody's falling from the sky.
Yeah.
And
no, that's crazy though, because Dave told me, because he came into work right after. He's like, dude, I just saw the craziest thing.
So then,
and you were there at the same time, but different perspective.
Mm-hmm. I get to work and I'm telling everybody, and I'm like I don't know, I wasn't like it was just weird, right? I was like, I guess I was a little in shock. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? And some people are like, why are you still here? Like, you should go home. And I'm like, I mean, it's fine. But then I started getting mad because I didn't realize that suicides never made the news. And so I kept looking for news and nothing popped up. So then I was just like, was I just seeing things? Or like, there's no way you saw that. And I was just like, was it like a trash bag or something? You know, like, oh, you know, you start second guessing yourself. But yeah, then it kind of popped off like on those, like, not the news, but there's like Facebook things. Like, oh, did you hear about that?
Yeah, I just had a friend just the other day. I think it was a good idea to jump off of 16 stories. Didn't quite make the landing. California.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. That's
crazy.
A weird way to go.
It's 26 friends that have killed themselves.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I have just the one, I think. It was like my best friend. That was hard.
Yeah, this was.
But Jesus.
This one's super close to me. But. Did you ever meet Paul?
Weird way to go. Paul
Bates. He did like a.
I don't think so.
Radio Boise stuff. He was always at shows, like black shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, I might have met him, but I don't. Okay.
Yeah, he texted me when I was living at the house. He texted me like, I don't know, it was like a Friday night, I think. It was like, I was working, and I'm like, hey man, like, I'll give you a call when I get off, like, working, super busy. It's like, cool, yeah. I'm like, well, or stop by, like, on your way home or something like that. I'm like, yeah, totally. And it was crazy Friday night at work, right?
Yeah.
And you've worked the service industry as long as I have.
Yeah.
Got off, just kind of wanted to have a drink and go home and go to sleep, because I had to come back and open the next day.
Yeah.
Totally forgot to call him. I'm on my way back to work the next morning. I get a phone call from a friend saying that he killed himself.
Fuck.
And I pulled over to the side of the road, and because I was on the highway, I was just like about to have a panic attack, because I deal with anxiety.
Yeah.
I dealt with anxiety for a long time. But like, yeah, pulled into work like 30 minutes late. Boss was there and was like, where the fuck have you been? Can you like call me? I'm like, I just found out one of my friends killed himself last night, and I was supposed to call him when I got off work, and I didn't. She's like, oh shit, like, I'm so sorry. Do you need to take? I'm like, I just need to like go for a walk and call some people. I'll come back. I need to work because I need to get my mind off of this, but I have to like process this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, it took me like I went to therapy for that shit. Like that was hard to get over.
Yeah. Does it ever get like you said you had so many? Like, does it?
It's
Do you
numb
start
and
to get
still
numb?
sad. It's
Uh,
numb, but it still sucks, dude. I've
yeah.
like I'll have, when it happens. But the thing is like, I mean, life is life. Like it's not my responsibility to make your life better.
Right.
I try and be a really good person and try and help as many people as I can. But
Yeah.
if I can't save myself, then I can't save anybody else. So, um,
Yeah.
but like it just sucks. Like when I don't know, my heart just like breaks mostly. I mean, if it's like something that was like super close, like I've known this person for a long time, but it like I hadn't seen him since 2019 was like the last time I saw him, and even then it was like, probably another 3 or 4 years.
Mm.
And we kind of stay in contact a little
Right.
bit. Um, but I mean, you've moved, like you didn't grow
Yeah.
up here, like there's people that you still care about from different places that you've lived, and
Oh
like,
yeah.
but you don't necessarily like talk to them every day.
Mm.
But like at one point, you guys were like great friends. Um, like here we are better friends now than we were when
Yeah.
we lived together,
That's true.
which is probably good. We probably wouldn't be the best roommates.
No. A lot of my friends I would never live with.
Yeah.
Probably most of them.
I'd rather like crash on your couch when I get too drunk here.
Yeah.
But then again, I live right down the
Yeah,
street,
we
so I
live
can
so
just ride
close.
my bike.
Yeah, that's what I like about the bench.
Also, now we have Uber. That shit wasn't a thing back then.
No, it's not.
No. It was like, who's gonna stay sober enough to drive? Anyway,
Yeah.
that whole stuff, like it's numbing, but like people die.
Yeah.
My grandfather died this last winter, and like
People die,
I
but
was
you
named
like you
after
wish
him.
you
But he was like in his 90s,
yeah, you would
and he
hope
was a
they at least
badass.
yeah, have their
He had
time.
a
Yeah.
he had a fucking great run. Like he would mow his own lawn, like when
Yeah.
he's like 90 years old. Like it's like, fuck, dude, I don't even want to mow my own lawn right now, and I'm 38, so I pay
Yeah.
someone to do it.
Dude, it bums me out because like I don't know, I'm a very happy person. I wasn't always like I was very
I'm incredibly happy right
I
now
was
too.
very, very depressed when I was like, I would say, I don't know, like, I don't know, it was probably got worse and worse over time, like 16 into
Hmm.
early 20s, and like it got really bad. But I never thought about offing. I mean, I'd think about it. I've definitely thought about offing, but I've never even like contemplated steps or anything like that. I was just like, ugh,
I mean,
I
everyone's had
wish I
that.
wasn't here, right?
Everyone's had that thing. Like, what if I and like, nah.
So it bums me out
But
when
it's a mental health thing.
I know that like people can turn it around, and it's like sad when people don't, but it's like a bummer. So it's like
Yeah.
you can find something to make you happy. You can find stuff, but
Well,
and it's sad when somebody doesn't or they can't figure it out, or whatever. That's just like because I know that like my life is incredibly like way better than I used to be. And I mean, it's been for years that I'm happy and I find things to be happy about. That doesn't mean that there's still not bad shit,
yeah. I mean,
but
suicide's not like a depression thing. It's a mental health thing.
yeah,
Like, there's something because I know what you're saying. Like, I've never been like, I'm gonna fucking end it, you know.
yeah.
But
You
you've
can
had that
also,
thought of like, is it even worth it?
yeah, yeah.
You know.
I think a lot of people can get
Um,
there though.
and when you hit a bad spot, a lot of it's I've had a lot of friends threaten that they're gonna kill themselves, and
Yeah, I've had a few of those.
none of them actually done it. But like, do I want to be the one that like doesn't show up the night that they actually do
Then they
it?
do it. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
every single one of my friends, like Paul, like he didn't say that he was depressed.
Right, right.
He just said, "Hey, I'd love to see you," kind of a thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But like the thing is like, had I called him or like, gone over and even just called him or texted him or something like that wouldn't have changed the mentality
Right,
that
right.
he has to actually flip that switch off
Yeah,
of
for
life.
sure.
Um, that's a whole different issue, and it sucks. And like, you know, going back to like vets and stuff like that. Like,
Mm,
we don't take care of our vets. We don't
yeah.
take care of our people at all.
Right.
Like, we can't even like agree on some basic health care for everybody in this country, which is bullshit.
That's wild.
Like,
That was one of the
it's like
wildest things about
we
like
spend a
the
shit ton of money
the richest
bailing out
country
banks.
on earth that we can't figure that
Yeah,
out.
we spend a shit ton of money bailing out banks or a shit ton of money on war,
Hmm.
and we can't have basic health care for
Yeah,
everybody.
for
And people are
everyone,
going in debt,
let
or
alone our
people are
vets, but yeah,
or
for
people are
everyone.
going or they're afraid to even go to the doctor because they're gonna have a fucking bill that's like four thousand
Yeah, yeah.
dollars that they
So many
can't
people don't go to the
afford.
doctor, I myself included.
Yeah,
And when something will happen, like, I probably should go to the doctor, but like, do I want to like pay 4 grand,
yeah.
whatever? So I'll be like, nah, I'm not gonna. And so many people ignore a certain thing that
And then
is
all of a
like
sudden it
a
becomes crazy.
whether it's chronic or whether it's
Yeah,
that's like
and then
that
it just grows
tumor.
into
Yeah,
this crazy thing, and then all of a sudden they're
they're
in
too
the
far gone.
hospital, and like,
Yeah,
it's like all of our money is still going to pay for them. Why can't we just
yeah.
pay for them when it's gonna be this big?
It's so it's so wild to me because it seems to me like taking care of a car. Like you do an oil change so you don't spend as much money later,
Yeah,
and like paying the investment on
yeah,
like maintenance of the
yeah. It's, oh,
individual
you got a leak in
is
a hose. Let me just put duct tape on it. It's gonna
yeah.
be fine. No, spend the $7 it
But
takes on that
but like we
hose.
all know that. Like every like logical like like man and woman is just like, yeah, you take care of your car, you do the oil change. Like we all have learned that on all this other stuff, but we haven't learned it on healthcare yet, and it's just
We
like
also have
mind
this.
blowing.
We have this fear of doctors too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've met so many people. It's like, hey, I will take you to the doctor. I'll pay because there's, you can go like Doc in the Box. It's like, based on income. It's like
Talking about
super
it. I've
cheap.
never heard it called that. That's funny.
It's like super cheap based on income, but like you can get that checked out.
Yeah.
It's like someone's got their shoulder that's fucked up and they're,
Yeah.
barely scraping to get by or whatever. I'm like, I will take you. I will pay for it.
Yeah.
I don't like going to the doctors. I'm like, okay, do you want that shoulder to be a problem for you for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Or
It's very
do you
weird.
want to go have it looked at? No, I don't. I'm not going to go see a doctor. Or when they ask you, like, so I got drunk. Imagine that. And I
Never heard of it.
fell into a doorknob that split my eyebrow open right on my hairline, which is great because you can't see the scar unless you look close. Um, and I went home and I was like cleaning it out, and my roommate's girlfriend's like, "Oh, you need stitches." It looked like you put a hot dog in the microwave for too long. And just
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that's kind of what it looked like.
Ugh.
But I was like super drunk, and I'm cleaning it out, and she's like, "No, you need stitches." And then my roommate, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go with her on this one. Get in the truck. We're gonna take you." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Fine." And it ended up costing me like $2,000, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine. I got the first bill and it was like $400. I'm like, oh, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
And then I got a second bill and it was like $1,600. And I was like, fuck.
Dude, that anywhere
But
else is nothing.
yeah.
Fuck.
But the thing is I would have had like a huge like it would look gnarly. Like my face would be drastically changed.
Yeah.
If I didn't get those stitches. But I'm in there. The nurse is like cleaning it out. She's super cute, and she's asking me all these questions. And she's like, "Have you been drinking?" Because if I hadn't been drinking, they might give me some pain medication
Right,
for it
right.
or whatever. And I'm like, "Yep." And she's like, "How much?" And I was like, "Enough to do this."
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, didn't get her number. If
Why
you
not?
see this,
She will. You
sure you're
put it out in
taking
the universe.
it.
All the key ones are.
But yeah, people are afraid though.
Yeah.
I've offered to
So,
pay for multiple people to go see a doctor, and they won't do it. I'm like,
yeah.
dude, just
That's
So I don't even know if I know that like if we had basic healthcare, it would help a lot of people.
Yeah.
But we're stubborn. Like human beings are stubborn in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah, yeah, we are for sure. It is so crazy. That's I would say healthcare is one like my biggest reasons for leaning more left. It's just like, dude, can't we just take care of everybody and like
Well, can't we just get
we're
along?
the only like so what I think our rate is almost 1 million people. I think it's 800,000. 800,000 people go bankrupt a year from medical bills.
Yeah.
And you know what the next closest country is? It's zero. Every other country is zero because they don't allow it, and there's nothing like healthcare that would never happen.
When to bring us up to current events, we're like relieving a bunch of student loan debt, which
Yeah.
I think is great.
Yeah.
But what about all this medical debt? You
Yeah.
know, at least the student loan debt, they have degrees, hopefully. I don't
Right.
know. I dropped out.
That's a lot of student loan debt is because of that. They're like you get a bit and then you don't go back or whatever, you know. So then you still have the debt, but you didn't even get the
Yeah, but I
degree.
don't want to
That's
finish getting more debt
right. No, that's what I'm saying.
and
That
have
is
like a degree that I wasn't going to use.
that is a ton of people that have student loans don't have
Yeah.
degrees. It's like 50%. I'm talking out
I-
my ass at this, but there's a high percentage
I
of
wouldn't doubt that.
yeah, like your exact shoes in that case.
Yeah, but I'm successful
Right. But
regardless.
yeah. Right.
I mean, I studied music and theology, and I mean, with a music degree, I could teach music in a school,
Yeah.
but that's
I'm
not
pretty
me.
anti-school except for where you
I think our teachers
doctors, right? Doctors.
our teachers should be making
Yeah,
way more money.
for sure. Dude, those are the two things. Like, a health of a society is is it educated or that? I mean, everyone knows that the more educated a society is, the less crime and the less poverty, and yet
Yeah.
we like don't put
I have
any
so much
attention to that.
respect for my friends and people that I know that are teachers, and they're great
fucking
fucking
nuts.
teachers because they're not in it for the money
Mm-mm.
at all. Like,
But it'd be dope if like teachers were respected or valued as much as like a lawyer or a
well, it's like they
you know
like. I mean, a teacher in Boise, Idaho, can not really like live a comfortable life on the wage that they make,
yeah they'd have to have a significant other that has a
Yeah.
better job.
or
For sure.
be bartending at nights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't want to do it, nor am I ever going to do it. But
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
gonna be my teacher. How much time do you spend on your beard?
I blow dry it. Oh.
Cool.
If I don't blow dry it, that's about it. I blow dry it and then I put like what moisturizer. So 5 minutes maybe.
Yeah, the gray that's coming into it is quite sparkly
Dude, it's been great
in
for
this lighting. Just saying.
yeah. It's nice. Touch of
It's
gray.
good to see you getting older.
Yeah. Yeah, we should wrap this up. What time is it?
I don't know. 6:32?
Yes. That's kind of 6 to 6:30 is good for me. Do you want to like plug anything?
Like, hug it out. No, I
Plug
mean,
it out?
I don't know. I know where you've been.
That's true.
How about what cheers
You
it
do.
out?
Yeah, it's weird. It does feel weird.
Can you do a partial shot?
I'm gonna do a water
That
shot.
was a test. That was a test.
Did I pass?
All right, I'm gonna get you a shot glass.
Yeah, let's do that. I've taken quite a few water shots.
I gotta pick the right one.
3 weeks.
Oh, this is the
3
right
weeks
one.
sober.
Definitely the right one.
Oops.
Josh, I found the right glass.
Did you find the right glass? Is it the one with the penis in it?
Sure is.
I knew it.
All right. Here. Just so
Yeah.
Josh's family doesn't get mad, he's actually not drinking right now, which
Oh.
is...
It's not drinking only because of my family.
Josh, it's been a pleasure.
Yes.
And also, like, it's been a really amazing time getting to, like, reconnect with you the last, like, few weeks.
Yeah.
It's been quite fun.
Probably a couple months, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
100%.
Who's counting?
Time. Irrelevant.
Cheers.
does taste weirder coming out of the dick. Cheers, bud. I love you.
Yeah, we did.
Nobodies.